So what we're going to do today is we're going to have a go at some wool roll bread. So in here I've got 300 grams of bread flour. So I'm just going to add in a teaspoon of salt, 30 grams of sugar, 100 ml of double cream. This really produces a lovely, fluffy, yummy loaf. A whole egg. And then what I've got here is I had 80 ml of lukewarm milk, and in that I've put 3 grams of yeast, so it's coming all nice and bubbly. So in that goes. Then all we're going to do now is just give it a mix until it comes together into a nice dough, which won't take long. So we'll just keep that mixing round. Now you can fill various fillings in a wool loaf bread. I'm going to fill mine with some chopped walnuts, some mini currants and some cherry conserve, which I'm going to warm through so I can just sort of paste that onto the bread. But as I say, I think next time I might try a savoury one. I might do a garlic butter one with maybe some mozzarella cheese. That would be quite nice as a tear and share bread. But I think the possibilities are endless, really. I think just the whole point of this bread is that it looks pretty, and the idea is, you know, when it's done, it looks like a ball of yarn, because you're going to get all those strands come into the middle, which will become apparent when we shape it up later. But at the moment, as I say, we're just making the basic dough. So this is all starting to come together now. This won't take long at all. You could do this by hand, but it would be a lot harder, a lot more labour intensive. So if you've got a mixer with a dough hook, even better. This is getting there now. Lovely. So that's a lovely, nice, smooth dough that's all come together perfectly. It's pulled away from the bottom of the bowl. That's exactly what we want. So I'm just going to give it another 30 seconds of giving it a knead around. And then I'll show you the texture of the dough. Lovely. So there we've got a lovely, stiff, smooth dough. So what we're going to do now is I'm just going to take it off the hook. Lovely. And take my dough hook off. And then all I'm going to do now is I'm going to cover this for an hour in a warm place, just to prove and double in size. As you can see, this has now doubled in size, so it's looking all lovely. So what we're going to do is we're just going to tip it out onto a floured worktop, like so. Roughly put it into a ball, flatten it down a little bit. And then we just want to roughly, let me just move that bowl out of the way. We just want to roughly cut it into 5. Doesn't have to be precise. So, and then what we're going to do with each section, we're just going to re-roll that into a ball and leave to have another rest under cling film for 20 minutes. So as I say, we just get each, this is lovely and stringy, so you just get each one, roll it into a ball and pop it there. Same with this one, into a rough ball. Number 3. Like so. Number 4 and number 5. So all we do now is we just put some cling film. It's quite warm in here, so you do want it at sort of a decent room temperature. So that's just now going to sit there and chill out for about 20 minutes. Right, so we've unwrapped our 5 balls of dough. And what we've done is I've put 4 in already, so I'm just going to show you on the last one what we do. So we just roll it into an oblong, not too thin, and then about halfway, you want to guess where halfway is, and then you just want to do little cuts all the way through with your knife from one edge to the other. And as I said earlier, you can fill these with whatever you want, sweet, savoury. What I've done is I've got some cinnamon sugar, some mini raisins, some chopped walnuts, and a little bit of cherry conserve that I've just warmed through just to make it a little bit more runny. So we're just going to go over with a couple of teaspoons of our cherry conserve, just spread it all over nicely. You don't want to go too much into your cuts, just touching them. Then a little bit of cinnamon sugar all over, a little bit of the mini raisins, sprinkling of your chopped walnuts. And then what you need to do is you need to take each edge like that, grab the bottom and roll. So this is the fiddly part of doing these. So just like that. And then it's so warm in here that these ones have already started to prove, so we've just got to see, I've got to just push these ones along a bit to try and fit our last one in. So that should tuck in the gap nicely. Perfect. So now all we do with these now is we're going to cover them in cling film and we're going to put them in a warm place for another hour just for a second prove. So this has now had its final prove, so we've preheated the oven to 170-degree fan and that's nicely doubled in size. So all we're going to do now is just gently brush over some milk. You don't want to do it too heavy-handed and knock all the air out of it. So just gently over the top, like so. And then this goes into our preheated oven for 17 to 20 minutes. So this has had 17 minutes baking. So we're just going to pop it out of the oven. Look at that. So that's my wool yarn bread. So what I'm going to do now is just leave it to cool for 5 minutes or so, pop it out of its tin, and then I'll pop a photo at the end of the video.